Hey there, my name's Faye. With the release of Legends ZA approaching, a replay of the Pokemon series was in order, and because I've been wanting for a long time to get more serious into Nuzlockes, why not make each playthrough their own challenge? This video is a bit long due to my love for in-depth storytelling, but I hope you enjoy it either way. We start off in the beautiful yet small town of Pallet. Population's estimated to be a mere 7. A journey began after I woke up one morning with a sudden desire to become the very best there ever was. So empty-handed and with no way to defend myself, I stepped beyond the safety of my hometown. Unbeknownst to me, however, the town's professor was more omniscient than Arceus himself. He dragged me back to his laboratory, and for a while I feared it would be all over for me, only for the professor to offer me a Pokemon of my very own. I guess if it's for science, he was more than fine with letting a 10-year-old go out into the dangerous world. Naturally, giving me such a gift came with a catch. He wished for me to help fill out his encyclopedia regarding Pokemon found around the region of Kanto. I didn't have a choice. My dream of the last 5 minutes to become a Pokemon champion rested on being allowed to leave the town with a Pokemon of my own, and so I agreed. But little did the professor know, I had no intention of catching every Pokemon. As per Nuzlocke fashion, only the first encounter of any uniquely named area can be caught. This includes routes, forests, caves, cities, towns, but not individual floors of buildings or caves. If the first encounter is killed, even accidentally, it's considered a loss and I can't catch anything in that area again. As for the Pokemon I do manage to catch, if any of them faint, they're considered dead and disposed of into my computer's box forever. I don't have time to give them a proper burial, okay? Sorry. I also must nickname any Pokemon I catch, although I suck giving nicknames, so prepare to see some very weird ones. I also decided to stop myself from using any healing items while in battle, and I also put a level cap on my Pokemon which equals roughly 2 levels higher than the next gym's strongest Pokemon. With that out of the way, my trainer ID told me to choose Squirtle as my starter, now nicknamed Waterleak for their habit to squirt out of their mouth. And after making my rival Lilith cry from an immediate loss, I ran out of Pallet Town with excitement as I soon came across my first Pokemon.
Fuck yeah! Oh, feels good. Oh god, remember when Pokeball, like you had to actually scroll to the back window with Pokeballs? Pokemon has come far. Hell yeah. That's our first one.
With a lovely rat brewing with unbelievable power now in my party, and fittingly nicknamed Bitey Jr., I continued on. While in Viridian, I humbled an old man into teaching me how to catch Pokemon, while my recently caught Bitey Jr. and Waterleak watched in awe. Then moving west to Route 21, I encountered and successfully caught a Mankey that I named Punch ! Yes, that's its name. Afterwards, game crashed. You see, I'm deciding to copy what other Nuzlocke streamers do by using rare candies rather than slowly grind off wild Pokemon, as that's a bit boring to watch for people that tune into my stream. However, I hadn't used Game Shark codes on the Virtual Boy Advance in years, and it appears checking my boxes blacked my screen. I had to redo everything, so I re-chose Waterleak as my starter, re-caught Bitey Jr. and Punch again as I wanted to keep this run. Then in Route 21, who should stop me but my rival, Lilith. We'd chosen our starters together, we'd started our journey at the same time, but this jerk thought he could outdo me. Waterleak took his Pidgey down while Bitey Jr. tore the bulb off his Bulbasaur. And even though Lilith put on a brave face as he left, I knew he'd later be crying in the corner of a Pokemon Center. Route 2 was next. A Weedle, naming it Drillbee, joined me, and immediately evolved into its final form before moving into Viridian Forest. Viridian Forest had 5 types of encounters. There was Weedle Kakuna, and as I encountered and caught one already, I could pull out the dupe claws if I encountered it. There was also Caterpie and its evolved form Metapod, and lastly, the rarest spawn, Pikachu. And so I ran around, wondering what my first encounter would be.
Who are we gonna find here? It's either gonna be Caterpie or Pikachu. I'm not optimistic on Pikachu, but I'm hopeful. Can you imagine we get a Pikachu from here? Hell yeah. You teach him, game. You teach him. Holy shit! Cool. Cool. Catch it? Catch it? Oh my fucking god. Holy shit! I'm Ash now.
That was a 5% chance encounter. My luck was making this seem to be an amazing run. I named my Pikachu I'm Ash now, and moved on. Viridian Forest was full of puny bug trainers. My Pokemon crushed them easily, although the occasional poison was irritating. Thankfully, the forest passed and I was welcomed into Pewter City, a sanctuary to heal my Pokemon, but more importantly, home to the first obstacle of my dream to be a Pokemon champion, the Rock-type gym, led by Gym Leader Rock. With the strongest Pokemon being an Onix at level 14, I raised my Pokemon just a level above that and made my way to the biggest fight so far, but not before doing the one thing everyone should do upon coming to Pewter City for the first time.
Actually, hang on. We haven't got the full Pewter City experience yet. We need the tour. We need the walk. Give us the music. You're a trainer, right? Rock's looking for new challenges. Follow me. Hell yeah. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
I immediately crushed Brock. What did you expect with a water type like Water Leak as my starter? With the Boulder Badge and an evolved Water Leak on top of that, I left Pewter. The trainers east from Pewter were jokes. I'm Ash now and Punch took down birds and bugs alike as I made my way through to the next patch of grass, where I encountered a Spearow. Managing to catch what I thought would be a decent flying type, naming a Big Beak, I continued on to the Mount Moon Pokemon Center, only for things to hit the fan. But not in the way you'd expect. Remember back a couple minutes when I mentioned my use of rare candies? It seems using the code that gave me them messed with my save. My boxes were filled with an item called Bad Egg, which only happens when the game realizes the player's been cheating. It crashes your game if you interact with it, and there were bad eggs throughout my computer. I decided to end my stream there for the day, and in my own time, I jumped from Pokemon Fire Red to Leaf Green. This time, I got the rare candies working without any bugs in my save, and the next day I booted up my stream with the intention of making a lot more progress. I bought a Magikarp on Route 4 that I named Gluggers and entered Mount Moon. A short walk in, a Geodude rushed me, but it soon joined my side with its new name, Rockin' Out. A completely ordinary and reasonable group named Team Rocket was exploring the cave, one such member telling me to give him a fossil if I find one. So after taking down some notes, I looted various items on the floor and showed the random trainers just how fearful they should be at my growing team. Team Rocket had more members on the lower floors, though for a group looking for fossils, they had funnily enough been keeping an eye out mere steps from two lovely specimens. After beating up the person who found these two fossils, I took the dome fossil. However, before leaving, I rushed back to the first rocket grunt I fought.
And go back to this guy. Found a fossil, give it to me in Scram. I have a fossil! What are you talking about? God damn it, man. You don't want my fossil? Fine.
Sadly, he did not accept my fossil. With Mount Moon behind us, Punch learnt Mach Punch and I Am Ash now learnt Mega Kick, and we entered Cerulean City. IT Jr., Big Beak, and Gluggers all evolved in preparation for the upcoming challenge, and I entered the gym. I was a little worried about this. My original plan had been to use I Am Ash now, and its Thundershock. However, since off-stream I had to redo my whole save due to the Bad Egg event, I had sped up the game a bit too much and accidentally replaced Thundershock with another move. I had no type advantage. However, that didn't matter, because I had Bitey Jr.
And this Raticate is my main source of that. Nice. Still level 22, by the way. Still level 2. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Come on. You're fine. You're fine. Just one more. Don't crit. Don't crit. Yes! We did it!
Honestly, the YouTuber Peachal or Pokemon Challenges would have hated me for my decision to keep Bitey Jr. in there. If that Water Pulse had got a critical hit, I would have lost my rat friend, but it didn't, so it's completely justified. Right? Bitey Jr. continued to be a beast, tearing through Lilith's party without breaking a sweat, and once clearing Nugget Bridge and entering Route 24, I encountered and caught a Caterpie, nicknaming it Not Butter for when it fully evolved. Route 25 offered me a Pidgey I caught and nicknamed Paperboy. Then once being rid of the plethora of trainers in this one bloody route, I made my way to the home of a celebrity, behaving like any reasonable person by barging in without knocking. Luckily I did, because it seems the man was an idiot and turned himself into a Clefairy. My decision to help him didn't go unrewarded as well, and I prepared myself for the most rare Pokemon this Pokemon collector could possibly spare. Only to be handed a ticket to an expensive ship that was leaving the city of Vermilion in a matter of days. I see. Vermilion rested south of Cerulean. However, the architect who designed Cerulean must have been delusional, because there wasn't a clear exit, meaning I had to break into someone's house to get beyond the city's walls. While I worried I'd be seen as a criminal for this act even though I just wanted to leave the city, thankfully Team Rocket had broken into the same house just moments prior, so I took them out and was labeled a hero. South of Cerulean, Route 5, a Meowth showed itself, and while I got a paralysis off onto it, my attempt to catch it failed when Gluggus' tackle did a bit too much. Well, it was just a Meowth, so I continued towards and through the underground tunnel, bringing me mere minutes from my destination. In Route 6, I obtained a Bellsprout I nicknamed Nene, and once in Vermilion, I decided to switch out Gluggus with Rockin' Out for the upcoming gym. I visited the Pokemon fan club where an old man smothered me in tails, but at least I got a bike voucher for it, which I immediately handed in to Cerulean. Just ignore the fact that I had to break back into the same house to both re-enter and then again leave the city. My next destination was the ship docked in Vermilion. I didn't wish to leave Kanto on a long trip, but my hunch told me something on this ship was worth a visit. Inside were countless trainers, lots of items, but more importantly a legendary move, except Lilith blocked my path.
Rock Tomb. You dead, mate?
Oh, you're not dead, I see.
Oh, okay. Oh boy. Oh. Cool. Hell yeah. Kill it. Kill it with flying. There we go. No Pokemon loss.
A bit rough, but all in all an easy victory. I helped out the sick captain, and in return HMO1 cut the legendary move capable of cutting down very short trees was left to me. Leveling my team up, Rockin' Out evolved, and I took on the third gym, run by Lieutenant Surge and his team of electric types. A typing Rockin' Out was completely immune to. His team was buried. Magnitude after magnitude brought them to their knees, and the third badge was in my hands, along with the TM for Shockwave, which I immediately taught to I'm Ash now. In Route 11, I encountered a Drowsy, catching it and naming it Hippie Z. Next was Diglett Cave, however, Punch's Fury Swipes was a bit too much for the small Pokemon. I continued through Diglett Cave, met up with one of Professor Oak's aides for HMO5 Flash, and once it was taught to I'm Ashnau, I headed east of Cerulean to Route 9, which led the way to Rock Tunnel. I'm Ashnau's power of Flash thankfully made it easier to tread through the tediously long cave as quickly as I could. It was a long area with a lot of close calls where my Pokemon met the yellow sections of health, and while on the home stretch, the cave wasn't quite done with me yet.
But I haven't lost any Pokemon so far, so I'm very proud of that. Nom nom. Oh no. Oh no. Oh shit. Okay, this guy's actually fucking me up. Okay, it's dead. Never mind. Boom! Oh, it's not dead just yet. Oh no. No! Punch! No! My first loss! Oh shit! No, Punch!
I was an idiot for leaving Punch in. In my defense, my whole party was in the yellow. I didn't have an easy way out. So maybe in the end it was the best result. I was so sad. That was our first loss though. I'd made it this far with only one loss. Trying to focus on that optimism, I rushed out of Rock Tunnel. In Lavender Town, Punch was put to rest and replaced with Hippie Z, who soon evolved along with I'm Ashnau learning Thunderbolt. Lilith seemed to be paying their respects to a possibly deceased team member of his, but because I too was mourning, I didn't hold back and challenged him. His team wasn't as easy as the last two attempts. Multiple of my Pokemon were left on low health, but I prevailed. West of Lavender Town laid Route 8, as well as my new Vulpix I named Burning Up. Or I would have if I didn't accidentally skip the nickname process. Don't worry, I fix it later. Also, Vulpix was a jerk here. It kept using Roar, which pushed me out of battle. I don't know what the rule is in Nuzlocke if your first encounter pushes you out with Roar, but I basically kept trying to encounter and catch it. My reasoning was I have no control over it using Roar. It's not my fault the encounter failed, so screw it. Celadon City had an Eevee just waiting on the top floor of one of its many buildings, so I stole it and nicknamed it Vivi. I decided I'd wait to evolve it until later in case I ever needed a specific type advantage no other Pokemon could fill. Then came the fourth gym. I'd expected very little challenge with Big Beak, although its only flying type move was Peck, and so I went in with confidence. Immediately, her Victreebel proved an issue. It survived 2 pecks and got off a stun spore as well as dealing plenty of damage, making my flying type useless for this fight. Bitey Jr. came out and tore apart Victreebel, doing the same thing to Gym Leader Erica's Tangler right afterwards, but then came Vileplume. A simple Giga Drain took down more than half of Bitey Jr.'s health, so I switched to I'm Ashnau, and the strategy here was simple: paralyze Vileplume. However, I went about it completely wrong. Paralyze it? Nope. Fuck! That sacrifice was in vain. I was trying to paralyze. I should have used Thunderwave. I should have just fucking used Thunderwave. Why I didn't just use bloody Thunderwave, the move designed to paralyze, I don't know. But now I'm Ashnau rests with Punch. Sorry, my good friend. Vileplume wasn't done with me, however, but through my loss, I felt a light shining on me, so I sent out Hippie Z. Turns out, he was perfect for this fight. Okay. Shit. Should be able to handle it. Just don't get paralyzed. Yeah, you can handle that. You're fine. No. Just do it. If I knew Hypno could tank this, I would have switched to him immediately.
Yes, we won. Oh.
All thanks to Hippie Z, I had 4 badges now, and with a few lessons learned from that fight, I immediately switched Big Beak for Paperboy, who leveled up and evolved into a much better flying type. Splurdy was also introduced to my team in replacement. Splurdy was a Voltorb that I caught just outside of Rock Tunnel. It evolved alongside Paperboy, and that was where my stream ended for the day. The next day, I prepped myself by throwing away some cash, then ransacked the well-hidden and totally secret bunker that Team Rocket had underneath the Celadon Game Corner. My Pokemon made quick work of the grunts, although I blamed that more on their low IQ because what sane person would work in a bunker with puzzle tiles all over the flooring? Maniacs, I say. After bullying a grunt for the key to the elevator, I soon came face to face with the Rocket leader himself, Giovanni. He was no pushover. The 2 fights right before him had left my Water Leak paralyzed, and while my girl could still take out Giovanni's Onix and Rhyhorn, I didn't want to risk it with the incoming Kangaskhan. So I switched to Bitey Jr., resulting in this.
Oh boy. Oh my! Oh my god! That was so close.
I quickly switched Bitey Jr. out and took Giovanni's last nuisance out with a tag team between Hippie Z and Rocket out, getting me a difficult but welcoming win. My journey then took me to Saffron City, where I made the random decision to challenge the dojo that rested beside the gym. Rather than be careful, my dumbass decided to walk right in. The first trainers, Marchop and Mankey, were no issue for Paperboy. However, the following primate forced me to switch to Hippie Z. While he had no difficulty with the oversized ape, the issue came after the fight. Due to the way I'd walked in front of the trainers, I was immediately noticed by a second one with no way to recover. Hippie Z managed to squeak a victory, thank God, and I ran out immediately to heal. I did go back and defeat the last 2 trainers, but I avoided the boss and honestly forgot to return for the remainder of the Nuzlocke. The Pokemon Tower welcomed me back and I immediately encountered a Ghastly on the 4th floor, only for Splurdy to kill it. Honestly, with a 12 level difference, I should have been smarter about it. Hippie Z dealt with the trainers throughout the tower, and once at the end of the 6th floor, the poor soul of Marowak attempted to stop me, only to fade into the afterlife after a quick talk with Bitey Jr. I promise the talk was very civil. For some reason, Team Rocket was here, because why the fuck not, and they'd taken a hostage. Didn't help much, because soon they were running and crying, and so I escorted Mr. Fuji home, where he gave me the Poke Flute. With that, I returned to Celadon, taught a couple how love doesn't solve every issue life throws at them, obtained HMO2 Fly, which I taught immediately to Paperboy, and after a tiring fight, managed to catch myself a Snorlax, which I named 5 Minutes. Somehow, while going down Cyclist Road, I managed to avoid the trainers that would normally surprise someone just speeding down its hill, and soon I was at Fuchsia City. I took a quick trip into the Safari Zone, got me a Nidoran female I named Big Queen, as well as HM03 Surf. I didn't plan to take on the Fuchsia City gym just yet, however, and flew back to Saffron. I had a multi-million Poké-dollar worth company being invaded by, you guessed it, Team Rocket, and only a kid trainer could save the day. As the grunts began to fall per usual, Water Leak and Paperboy reached their final forms. I also got my hands onto the one way to access the highest sealed off areas, the card key, which was just lying on the floor. A random lady offered me a bed, so while Team Rocket harassed the workers in the nearby rooms, which in turn caused those same workers to scream and panic, I took a relaxing nap with my party. Luckily I did, because less than a minute later I was face to face with Lilith. While I was curious, it didn't matter why they were here, as a battle ensued regardless. Splurdy struck down his Pidgeot and Gyarados, Water Leak soaked his Growlithe to less than an ember, and with some difficulty, Paperboy tore through his Venusaur and Alakazam. Team was looking more and more perfect the further I got. Immediately after my rival fight, I acquired a gift Lapras, naming it Sarple, as I couldn't think of anything else. Comment if you understand why I named it that. Then came the second Giovanni fight. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh boy. Forgot about Poison Point. That should kill it. Never mind. And you're done. Oh. Easy. He's gonna use a hyper potion, right? Oh no. And you're dead. Nice job. That is Giovanni gone.
All things considered, this fight went pretty well, although I recognize a lot of what I've done has been risking my party's life in hopes it goes my way. It's a large part of how I just play Pokemon, a habit that I find hard to break. The only defense I have is that so far it's been working out, and that made me happy. The owner of Silphco graced me with a Master Ball, and once out in the free embrace of the city streets, I decided to challenge Saffron City's gym leader, Sabrina.
Never mind, I thought it was counted as a flying type. But I guess not? That's weird. Oh shit, hang on. Just thought you might be dead here. I didn't mean to click that. I didn't mean to click that.
No! Splurty! I didn't mean to click that. I just my finger spammed A. Oh no, Splurty. Rest in peace, Splurty. Another sacrifice in vain due to my bad habits. I'd also forgotten to level my party to their new level cap, which didn't help. Replacing Splurty, 5 minutes was added to my party, and so I hit up Fuchsia City's gym immediately. I also made a discovery that is probably well known among the community, but I had no idea about.
I just realized you can actually see the invisible walls. Yeah, I'll show you. So if you look closely at the flooring, you'll notice that the flooring that actually has invisible walls has like white pixels on each of their 4 corners. That's kind of cool.
Koga came at me with all the force he could muster, but I had a plan. Hippie Z and his move Psychic were super effective against the poison types that Koga used. So once Water Leak did his part, I switched them out and along came Hippie Z.
Ah, shit. Okay, there's gonna be a risk. Oh my god! No! I'm dead. No, Hypno! And he's gonna Hyper Potion. He's gonna Hyper Potion. Oh no. Oh no. Who do I send out?
Another loss. I wasn't feeling as optimistic now. Hippie Z had done well. Like, my strategy, at least in my eyes, had been a good plan all in all. However, just like with Sabrina, I'd gotten to level my team. Hadn't taken a second to think. If I had, let's not think about that. Eradicate ensured my 6th gym badge was mine, and so I got to work trying to improve my team. Replacing Hippie Z was Nene, now a Victreebel. I made my way to Cinnabar Island, made a quick route through Pokemon Mansion since I guess someone lost the key to Cinnabar Island's gym. Like, honestly, why is it even locked? And why after I open it up is everyone just pretending like nothing was wrong? Nonetheless, I made sure to level my party up before fighting Blaine's, and perhaps because of that, Water Leak was capable of decimating his entire team. It was quite pleasing to see after the last 3 gym fights. After the gym, Bill showed up and invited me over to the Sevi Islands, but I had other plans for now, so while he waited for me in the Cinnabar Islands Pokemon Center, I returned to Viridian City, home to the final gym. Led by someone even the people here were oblivious to. Once I made it to the end of the gym, I realized why. It was bloody Giovanni! This guy just doesn't know when to give up. While Giovanni had no hand in the deaths of my team, I had some anger to let out. Nene sensed this, and so to my joy, it showed me just how powerful it truly was.
Oh, okay. Cool. Go back to sleep. It might wake up here. Oh, but no, it's a crit. Go to sleep. Oh, work up immediate. Oh, no, that's fine. Damn, this sleep powder doesn't miss. And it's out. That is all 8 gym badges done. All 8 gym badges were in my hand, and while I would have preferred to at least have Hippie Z still in my party over my Snorlax, my team was more than enough in my eyes. So, with good spirits, I ended the stream for the day. My final stream of my Pokemon Leaf Green Nuzlocke started with me taking a trip to the Sevi Islands with Bill. The Sevi Islands is a quick side mission. Bill asks you to deliver a meteorite to a man on 2nd Island, and while there you find the man's daughter has gone missing. You track her to 3rd Island, take out some bikers from the main region of Kanto, and find the daughter deep inside of Berry Forest on 3rd Island. So once on 3rd Island, Barty Jr. continued to show itself as the ace of my team by taking out the bikers group's Pokemon without breaking a sweat. They truly been a boss since practically the early moments of this playthrough. I was so proud. Though, neither of us could have expected these kind of events. Here we go. It's the wrong word, but you know. Oh my god. What? Barty Jr.? My boy? Holy shit.
And this is why we can't have nice things. With the ace of my party down, I was feeling even worse. I rushed into Berry Forest, took Listel home once dealing with the Hypno that had caused this mess. Then, in my sadness, I somehow forgot that I had to hand her father the meteorite. So in an effort to remember how to conclude this side adventure, I went on a detour to 1st Island, took down some flaming bird that looked at me weird, then finally remembered my job and finished off the Sevi Islands. Once back in Kanto, I worked on improving my party. First on my mind was an electric type, and while I could evolve Eevee into Jolteon, I decided to head to the power plant. My goal was to catch Zapdos himself. After all, he is the electric type legendary. Nene put him to sleep, followed by lowering the bird's health into the yellow.
Oh. Oh wow. Yeah, that just happened.
I caught Zapdos in the end. Even named it Sparkler. That's what counts, right? No! The dumbass bird doesn't know any goddamn electric type moves. I understand, he's one of the legendary bird Pokemon, emphasis on bird, but he's meant to be electric too. All he has is Thunder Wave. I didn't do enough prep afterwards either, so upon meeting with Lilith for our last pre-Elite Four showdown, rocking out fell pretty much immediately. And while the rest of the fight went by cleanly, his death was completely on me being distracted at the time and not switching upon seeing Venusaur come out. After the fight, I immediately switched my party around. VV, now in its electric type evolution, replaced the useless Zapdos, and Big Queen took the empty spot Nene once held. With this new team, I headed for Victory Road, with worry, but some confidence, as I at least still had my starter. Once in Victory Road, I caught a Machop, I nicknamed My Man, and with very little issues I came out the other side, bringing me finally to the Indigo Plateau, a Pokemon League. For all our loss, through all our hardships, we'd made it. We'd lost friends along the way, but we'd stayed strong. So after some small prep, buying some items in case I needed them between battles, I began the Elite Four Challenge. Lorelei sent out her Dugong, which I met with Vivi. A single thunder was all it took, one clean hit. And so Lorelei retaliated by sending out her Cloyster and sprinkling some spikes around, only for it to go down itself. Lorelei's Slowbro followed the same fate, and with 3 Pokemon down already, I was starting to get more optimistic. Vivi had been a really good choice. And then Lorelei sent out Lapras.
Oh wow, really? Not much at all. Ah, shit. Really hurting for paralysis there, but it's fine. Oh no. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this. I don't think we're winning this. Damn. Oh no. Fuck. Nope. We're not winning this. We're not winning this. There's no way. I don't know why I sent out Ninetales. I just don't know why I did, but... Okay, that's ironic.
It was a sour victory. Paperboy had been my means to defeat the next Elite Four member Bruno, but now he and Big Queen... I healed my remaining team, moved past Lorelei, but my panic was swarming me. My dream since leaving home was closer than ever. Bruno was just another obstacle. I'd overcome so many obstacles since starting my challenge. However, on meeting the man's eyes, I could just tell how this was going to end.
Wow, 2 crits in a row. Cool. We've lost. We've lost. Shit! I also forgot to use my rare candies. Maybe that would have helped. If I hadn't lost Victor Bell, I feel like this would have been a very easy run. He is out of usable. Oh shit.
And that's all she wrote. That was how my first ever Pokemon Leaf Green Nuzlocke went. I learned a lot, maybe not immediately, definitely not immediately. As if I'd learned from my mistakes earlier on, I could have avoided so many problems. That doesn't change the fact that this journey, this adventure, was amazing. I mentioned at the start of this video, my intention is to play through one game per each generation of the Pokemon series. To be specific, this includes Leaf Green, Soul Silver, Emerald, Platinum, Black 1, White 2, X, Sun, well, I'm still deciding whether I should play Sun or just jump to Ultra Sun because I've heard they're the definitive edition, Sword, Pokemon Legends Arceus, because I just love the game, and then Scarlet. Those are the games I plan to go through and Nuzlocke. As for Leaf Green, because I made it to the Elite Four successfully, I'm gonna consider it a successful loss. I will return to it in the future, but for now, I'm moving on to Soul Silver. So, if you want, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell if you want to be notified when that video drops. Until then, thanks for watching.